Good evening. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Excuse the voice. Excuse the voice.
Oh, fuck, you sounded so good early, too.
I know. I sounded great. It's all right. Listen, nobody can doubt that I was cheering on our boys last night. We're brought to you by Sterling Automotive.
Same shirt you wore yesterday?
This is during the day. I slept in it, woke up in it. I would like to say the
Played
sun.
in it.
I woke up, the sun was kind of shining.
Oh.
It wasn't raining. It was a little overcast. Sky is not falling as much as everybody wants to believe that it is. It is not. Hope you had a good Labor Day. I know it's not as good as you probably wanted it to be. Obviously, the boys did not pull out the victory. I've heard a lot of negativity. I've heard a lot of
Goddamn negativity.
goddamn negativity. I heard a lot about here we go again. I heard a lot about Brian Kelly shouldn't be the guy. I heard a lot about Jaden Daniels. Heard a lot of nonsense about a lot of things that don't make a lot of sense to me. And was the game good last night? No. It was very disappointing. It was a game that we should have won. I believe that it's a game that everybody on the team thinks that they should have won. It was a game that I think if you asked everybody on the team, if you asked the coaching staff, if you asked the people in the stands, they underachieved. They did not play well. But to compare it to the years of old and to compare it to last year, what I saw against UCLA last year and what I saw against Florida State this year do not compare at all. Against UCLA, you saw a defense that was giving up 50-yard plays like it was a 4-yard handoff. You had people running free with 30 yards of separation between guys. You had defenders throwing their hands up, not knowing what the fuck they were doing.
Heck, fuck.
I said huck.
Fuck it.
They didn't know what they were doing, right? You saw a lot of confusion. You saw a lot of disorganization. Last night, defensively, they weren't good on third downs. They gave up 11 of 17 conversions. Not good. Got to get off the field on third downs. I didn't see a lot of confusion. I saw a lot of effort. I saw a lot of the defense going to the ball and making plays, right? They gave up 3.5 yards a carry to Florida State, which Florida State's run offense is their strength, right? Jordan Travis played well. He made some plays. He did what he was supposed to do, second-year quarterback. There's a lot of things that happened that were not good, but there were some things that I saw, Jared saw, we were watching the game together, that I look at it and I say, look, I'm not saying that's encouraging moving forward, and I'm not saying that it is. What are we doing here?
What is going on over here?
You told me to change my background.
What did you change it to?
I didn't get quite there yet.
Oh my God.
What happened?
What is going
That
on?
was a disaster scenario. We're good.
I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry. I just knew you could see it.
Like, oh my God.
But
He's got
I'm
a
not
craving.
saying what happened last night is encouraging. I'm not saying what happened last night is not disappointing. But what I am saying is to go ahead and compare it to what you've seen in the years past, what you saw last year, what you saw the year before. It is not the same. The defense played their asses off. They were on the field for way too long. They did give up too many third down conversions, but they played, I think all in all, I think they played okay. I think that's something they can build on. Obviously, losing Mason Smith is devastating.
Oh.
That is heartbreaking for him. I feel terrible for him. I feel bad for the defense. But outside of that, I felt like they had things that you can grow from and you can get better with. I don't think that they were the reason why we lost. Also don't think that Jaden Daniels was the reason why we lost. I think that, all of the criticism of, he was a one-read run guy. Okay? Maybe he did that a little too much early on in the game. But he was also getting his shit pushed in by the defensive line because he wasn't getting a lot of protection. We weren't super consistent on the offensive line. I think going into the first game of the season, I think that's part of what we said on the show is why we think Jaden Daniels is going to start. Because they're not confident in the offensive line, and they need somebody who can be able to make something out of nothing. Maybe he did have one read move too early. Maybe he had some happy feet early in the game. But as the game progressed, after the first half, because after that first drive, it was pretty bad offensively, I would say, in the first half. They didn't have anything going. Third quarter, not great. End of the third quarter is when it felt like they started making the change. They made the adjustment. They started making different play calls. Jaden Daniels felt like he started getting comfortable. He got in a rhythm. He was getting the ball out of his hand into some of the receivers' hands early on. Listen, he threw the ball 35 times and completed 26 of them.
26, I think.
That's a 75% completion percentage about. Yeah. That's pretty good. Now, missed some throws? Yes. A little late on some throws? Sure. This is his first game with a brand new team, with a brand new scheme, and with a bunch of, you can say, he was playing. He had practice for months, right? He's been here for months. That doesn't matter. It's different when you get on the field of play. Whenever things start moving faster and you play against a different team who's scheming to beat you, not against guys you've played with for the last 3 months, right? Not against your teammates who you don't want to, nobody wants to get hurt in August, right? It's different. I thought Jaden Daniels played really well. I thought gotta have it drive 99 yards showed a lot about him. Everything was organized. He drove the guys down the field in 1 minute and 20 seconds. The length of the field, scored a touchdown. Unfortunately, special teams, the Achilles heel of yesterday, it was an issue. Now, I'm not, like I said, I am not saying that it was perfect. I'm not saying that I'm happy. I'm not saying there's no moral victories in this game at all. What I am saying is you cannot compare this to the UCLA game because it is different. We weren't as beaten up this game as we were the UCLA game. We gave ourselves a chance. We were down 14 points with 9 minutes to go. We came all the way back, had a chance to win. Special teams needs to get figured out fast because those 2 blocking assignments, you can't have field goal, extra points blocked and field goals blocked. Can't happen. That's what I saw. That's my start into the show. We're going to talk a lot more about it. Jordan Jefferson's coming on the show at 6:15. I think he's the perfect person to come on right now and talk about what he saw this weekend.
And the reaction to an LSU fan base.
And the reaction to an LSU fan base because he had to go through some shit when he was here. He wasn't the maybe most popular guy sometimes, but he was extremely talented. He got the Tigers to the national championship game in 2011, and I think he's going to have a pretty good perspective on what he saw and how to move forward and how to grow forward. And listen, I've been in a lot of group texts today with friends from home, friends from Baton Rouge, friends from around the country, and everybody's talking about what's going on, this and that. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. And by no means am I right. Does my opinion hold more weight than anybody else? No. But no, it doesn't. I mean, I'm not an expert. All I can tell you is my perspective is a little bit different in the sense that I have played a lot of different types of sports. I've played baseball. You've played football and baseball. You've been in locker rooms. You've been on teams with a completely new teams that you've been together with for years, right? Talent is not the only thing that gives you victories. It takes chemistry. It takes camaraderie. It takes a trust in each other, and that takes time to build. Brian Kelly had 40 scholarship players at the end of last year, brought a whole new team. It takes time. You can't build that. You can only build so much in the offseason. You have to build it when it gets real on the field of play, and I think that's going to take time. The offensive line is probably going to figure their stuff out. It's not going to be pretty for a little bit, but you got to figure out a way. Those are my thoughts. We have Jordan Jefferson coming on in 6 minutes. I want to get some of the guys' thoughts before he gets on. Me and Jay had some really, really cool conversations in the stands. What did you see?
So for me, I didn't see a sky is falling thing. I was a little surprised of some of the bonehead plays and some of the mistakes that we made. You know, you talk about the 2 muff punts. We talk about the shank punt. We talk about
the blocks.
The blocked kicks. Like, I was a little surprised at some of the stuff like that we saw and how easily some of that stuff happened, I guess, if you will. But I feel like those are mistakes that I would put a lot of money on to say that we'll find someone, if we have to change it, that can catch a punt. We'll find someone who won't shank kicks. Maybe it's not the deepest and the best kicks you get, but they won't be shanked. That we'll find someone to block
he bombed
up.
his first one.
Exactly.
But I think that was a report. But not to cut you off, I think that was a report of camp. It was like, damn, he hits a 70-yarder, but then he shanks one. Just a little inconsistent.
We'll find someone to block up and fit gaps on our when we're kicking extra points and kicking field goals. Like, I don't really think that that's something that's going to continue to be a problem for us, right? And if it is, I don't think the person coaching it up is going to be here for long.
Right.
But with that being said, I saw a team, like he said, we watched them play on defense. I saw a team that, besides a flea flicker and one great one-handed catch, name me some other 20-yard, 15-yard games you saw come from this team. I just thought they couldn't get off the field on third down, which, if I had to guess, maybe Mason Smith not being on the field, maybe them not realizing that they weren't going to get home with just 4, and maybe them now realizing, hey, we may need to start bringing pressure, as they go forward in the league. I think that's adjustments that can be made. I saw a team on offense that struggled to put it together at first, that struggled to figure out the puzzle at first. And when they did, and if I remember correctly, there was one drag route that was a late throw to Kayshawn that turned into a drop, where you saw a team completely change because that next drag route ended up being the first touchdown of the game. And it was thrown on time, and it ended up being a touchdown. I think a lot of things changed after that. So I saw a team on offense that took a while to put it together. And when they did, you saw a completely different team. I saw a team on defense that played very well early on, besides getting off the field on third. And then they started trying to play a little bit of hero ball, and everybody trying to make a play because we got a little desperate in there. And still, all in all, we looked at a team with those mistakes and those things that lost by a single point.
A blocked field goal that still almost went in.
A single point.
So
for me, I didn't see, wow, that looked terrible, not a good team, blah, 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 blah. Look, I personally, I don't expect them to win a national championship this year. But what I saw in that game, no matter what the outcome of that game ended up being, doesn't take me off of what my preseason prediction of them was.
And that's what I think that's you saying. I wasn't expecting them to win a national championship. I think that needs to be – we need to manage our expectations of this team. Do I think that we have some extremely talented guys on the team? Absolutely. I think the guy running the ship is extremely well qualified. He's very good at his job. He's a very good coach. I think that we should trust that. But do I think that his first year coming in with a completely – what?
Nothing.
Why'd you look at me like that?
Oh no, I was just looking at my phone. Sorry.
No, you weren't looking straight at my eyes.
You were looking straight at
What do you have to say?
I got nothing to say.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is, but
I mean, are you talking about special teams right now?
I'm talking about our head coach.
Oh no! Oh, okay. Yeah, misheard you. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about. I heard Brian. Obviously.
You thought you were talking about Brian Poley.
No.
Yeah, I mean that's day one stuff. We got to get that figured out.
No. Brian Kelly is the guy running
he's
the
good.
ship,
Be good with that.
right? Brian Kelly is good at what he does. He's very successful at what he does. So I just think that we're gonna go out there and everything's gonna be perfect from the first game on. Like we've got to manage that. Now, should we have won that game? Probably. Yeah. We didn't play well. I think they would tell you that. But to say that all is doom and gloom now because we lost against them, I think that's false. I think that we're going to get better.
I'll just say this too. Like, I won't even go as far as to say should we have won that game. No, I don't think we should have. We lost. The turnover.
Not based off what we saw.
Right. We lost the turnover battle. They missed some kicks. They went for it on the fourth down where I'm like, I don't even understand why they're going for it on the fourth down. They didn't punch it in from inside the 3. Right. They could have easily won this game too. Like, so the way the game was played, I don't think we should have won it. But could we have won that? Very, very.
And I'm talking about more so about before the game started.
Right.
Like based off of the talent and guys you got. But it's a lot of new guys. It's a lot of guys that have never played with each other in those moments. And the only thing, and one of the big things that's encouraging to me is with a new team, in a situation that comes up when you're down 14 points in the fourth quarter, and people are starting to kind of file out, and you don't really know, you don't know if the guy next to you, you only know what you've seen in fall camp. You don't know what you've seen in the field of battle because you never had to be with these guys, right? So, hey, you're down 14 with 9 minutes to go, and you go out there and you make a play and you score a touchdown. And you go out there and then you get the ball back and your guy muffs a punt. Okay, that sucks. Now we get lucky and we get a gift and we get the fumble back and you have to go 99 yards and you go ahead and do that. I don't care if they're playing prevent defense the whole time. You still got to go 99 yards in a minute and 20 seconds with 2 timeouts and score the touchdown to tie the game. You do that with a new team and a team that you haven't really played with. That shows me a lot.
And to be smart enough to make the plays, and to be smart enough to get out of bounds and stuff like that. Like that's
from a freshman.
That's coaching situations, man. Like guys just don't know that stuff like that. You got to be able to coach those situations up right, and obviously they did because they almost performed that to perfection, right? The Mason Taylor play almost screwed it a little bit. trying really hard to get in there. Maybe should have stepped out a little bit before, but they were still able to come out of a timeout with what, 2 seconds on the clock?
But they were going to run the
1
play
second.
regardless.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
have to.
Florida State had to call the timeout.
Exactly. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to get things, fitted up that way. And we talked about this, too. They didn't just come out and run some generic, dry-ass play. They even had a half-short motion in there just to be able to try to get a feel on the coverage. Like,
and the guy
these things are being coached up,
The
man.
guy scoring the touchdown, if you want to say he's too quick to run, was his third progression. The back of the end zone, high ball, back, perfect throw, touchdown.
Right. So if I told you in the beginning of the game that we won this game and that you and everyone who's screaming that Jaden he can't do it, it's not good enough. Well, you watched the kid who was, I won't say run first, but wasn't very comfortable in the pocket early in the game. Things change, and you watched a kid who almost threw a game winner in the back of the end zone on his third progression as he literally scanned the entire field. So if that's what we're doing from the start of the game, then this is where we got to the end of the game. I like our chances of him continuing to get better. Because if you can fix things that quickly, and it doesn't take you 3 weeks to fix it.
And Jane Daniels never looked more comfortable than he did in that drive.
Right. And I want to say this. This is not the standard that we have for LSU.
No.
This is not the standard that they have for themselves. All I'm saying, the reason why we're talking about it the way we're talking about it is because I know there's a lot of negative-ass people right now talking about how much we suck and how LSU is not going to be good and Brian Kelly wasn't the right hire. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you that there was a little bit of positive stuff, and I'm telling you that there is room to grow, and it's not as far off as you think. Now, there's a lot of things you need to get right and correct, but there's a lot of things that you can look at it and say, okay.
It's not broken.
No.
For me, you take out the flea flicker.
It's a process.
You take out the flea flicker.
Is
You
he
take
in there?
out
Is he in there?
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm waiting.
You
me-
emailed it to him, right?
Huh?
You emailed him the
No,
link.
was I supposed to?
I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah, I did.
For me, you take out the flea flicker. You take
Yeah,
out
The
okay.
the.
standards are so low for me.
You had a long day yesterday. I don't know.
A long day today.
I don't know. Okay, sorry.
I was just saying, for me, if you take out the flea flicker, you take out the long bomb. I saw a defense that was doing a lot of bending and not breaking.
Right.
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 Which I'm cool with.
I know a lot of great defenses that bend but don't break. So
Shit, you played with them.
I've seen a lot. I've seen it
Listen.
a ton of times.
2 turnovers, 2 muff punts in the red zone, 0 points. Give up 0 points on both of those.
That house.
0 points. Right? Like, defense wasn't the issue. Quarterback wasn't the issue. The issue was offense took too long to get going. Offensive line was very inconsistent, and special teams was god awful.
Yeah.
There's no way around
Yeah.
that. No way.
If you're in that situation as a player, would you rather have gone for it or see them kick it?
I think kick.
No, dude, you got to kick.
I
And
think
the
kicking is
reason
the
why
right
you have to kick is so imagine if.
Because it feels like you're stealing one, right?
Because I'm going to say it 2 ways around. Like, Florida State fans may not like this, but if I'm pulling out flea flickers in quarter number 2 of game number 2 of my season, really week number 1 of
And have
real
to
college
have
football
it.
season, and that's, was pretty much the thing that lets me know we don't have much faith in what we do. Other side of it is I feel like I got to go for field goal. I got to go for 2 and not use our field goal unit in week 1 of the season. We're going to need that guy somewhere down the line again. And if I'm already putting that message out that, hey, you ain't the guy or y'all can't get it done, we're not instilling
Right.
much confidence in that.
And it's
group.
not
So
the
I don't
kicker's
like that
fault.
at all. I don't like that at all.
It's not the kicker's fault at all.
No. I wouldn't necessarily blame the kicker. I was just saying it feels like you're stealing one here. Like, this is not
Okay.
the brand of
But
football.
only
that,
I'll ask you this. I mean, did it I guess because of that situation and how much, not in LSU pass, just in football pass, you see it happen. But did you really sit there and think, like, after we scored a touchdown, oh, we're for sure not scoring this, we should go
Right.
for it? No, you didn't think that. So, like, no, did you really think it? Not did it cross your mind. Did you really think, like, oh, my God, I can't believe we're sending the kicking team out here? No. There's no way you thought that. Lloyd, there is absolutely no way you thought that. Did it cross your mind? Maybe. Did you think that? Really think that? Did that?
I said it out loud. Does that matter?
Here's what I
No,
gotta
because
say.
that doesn't mean you really thought it.
If you asked every Florida State fan if they thought they were going to win going to overtime, 95% of them would have told you no. Because I asked the guys around me, I asked people walking back to the hotel, I asked my friends that were Florida State guys, I said, hey, how nervous were you when we just scored that touchdown? He said, oh, I didn't have any confidence in us winning in overtime at that point.
Because I guess you take what LSU just did, 99 yards, and how
In
many?
8 minutes, they scored 14 points, and you scored 0. You had the ball in the 2. You fumbled like,
And you're
oh,
in New
shit.
Orleans?
Here we go. No, that had nothing to do with it because they
They traveled well.
They traveled well.
They traveled
and
well.
They took the crowd out of it early on. So the offense, we weren't.
But you go to overtime in New Orleans.
it's over.
LSU
Well,
just scored.
I will say this,
Yeah.
a lot of LSU fans left.
I saw him leave.
They really did.
They were leaving. We didn't go because I was like, oh, we can't leave. Everybody's gone. We're gonna wait this thing out. And
After the second muff punt, there was a lot of people that got up and walked out.
Yep.
And talk about the muff punt, dude. How about the defense bowing their necks?
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's not what's supposed to happen. That should have been game.
Yeah, but
fumbles happen.
The
but
muff
for them
punt
to
shouldn't
get-
have happened either. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's a
exactly.
watch.
Yeah, exactly.
It
It's a
just
watch.
they took a minute and 30 seconds away
But for
from
them
us.
to get back out there and be like, "Fuck it, we can stop them here.
also
see what
love,
happens."
Also love. Is he still not in there?
No.
Okay.
Got to call Jordan Jefferson. He's trying to connect right now.
There we go.
There it is.
I do like the fact that Malik was the first.
Tennessee game all over again.
I do like that Malik was the first. Got the first 2 catches
First
on
2
that
balls,
last
yeah, on
drive
that last
after the
drive.
muff punt.
Yeah.
Get him back in there. Hey, you're still one of our guys. We're gonna feed you the rock. And go. That is very unfortunate. I felt terrible for him. Right? It happens in sports. That's the way it goes. And we're gonna get into that about them being kids and being young guys and young men and playing on the field. And these dumbass people trying to come at them on social media. All right,